I mean, if we're using the add-on, it'll tell them when to switch, but I mean, for simplicity's sake, you split the DPS up like Group 6 is on Yellow Star, right? And we're DPSing pew pew, third mark, we run to the safe zone. And then we sit here for, a couple marks. As soon as it goes to, mark 4, we start pew pew, DPS this guy.
Are you sitting in the safe zone to let your marks fall off, or what's the purpose?
We're sitting in the safe, we could go straight to the other one. We're just be going back and forth, because if we do this, and we DPS this boss, I gotta come back here, zone, or I can go straight over to the blue.
So they basically follow the same rotation as the tanks.
Pretty much. I mean, the biggest thing as a DPS, right? When you get the third mark, whatever boss you're DPSing, go away. Go pick another boss.
You don't just want to run straight to the other boss. You want to go towards the safe zone and then to the second boss.
Right, because you're trying to make it as the least amount of time that you're going to be spending, like, eating more marks.
Right. And no DPS, we're not going to the moon over there.
Yeah, if I remember it, they should only be on the front bosses. They're on the back two to start.
Well, yeah, because you want to burn down the front two bosses as quickly as possible, so you're switching back and forth.
Right. So DPS is just mirroring the front
right,
tank to start.
Yep.
And melee is never going to the moon boss.
Correct.
Never.
So that was going to be the last thing we covered, was just about each boss. So let's say everyone get to your positions. DPS just stand in the safe spot for now. Healers get to your corners, tanks get to your corner. If you're not a tank or a healer, please get to the safe spot for now.
If you're a DPS, get to the safe spot. Not tanks, not healers. Just stay right here on the Yellow Star, the safe spot.
Skull Void Wonder disappeared. That's where Olaf is. Which boss is Olaf's? Is that Thane? Mm-hmm. So DPS, the skull boss, that's Thane. That's the bottom left. Thane has Meteor. You remember those from the Nubasath and AQ. So he'll target a player and drop a meteor right on them. So you gotta group up. So on the bottom left, let's just have Jet pick a couple groups to split between the bottom two.
So group 5, come over here to the skull. Group 5 to the skull. And group 6, go to the X. Group 6 to the X. Group 5 to the skull. Now, granted, I know I'm in group 6 and I'm over at the skull, but one thing to remember about the meteor. So if you're DPS and you have 3 stacks, before you run out, let the meteor hit, then go back to the safe.
Yes, there always has to be.
It trails it by a couple seconds. Yes, horse button, corner not hit.
There always has to be DPS around the skull until it's dead then, or else the tank can get one shot.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes, there has to be a group of people on the skull, otherwise he's going to get annihilated.
So, just to reiterate, if you're attacking Skull, because we're going to keep it marked as Skull, so that's Thane, it's Meteor, so you have to group up. Let's put some melee over there. Group 2, Skull.
Group up more than that. It's a small radius.
So again, that's Thane, he has Meteor, group up. If you're on Thane, Meteor. X is Mograine. He just has Righteous Fire, so it's a chance on hit on his auto attacks to deal extra fire damage and apply a debuff. The debuff is not dispellable. So you do not need to group up for X. You only need to group up for Skull.
You stay at range.
Yeah, stay at range. If you're melee, you can come in and poke him. He doesn't have a cleave or anything. It's just saying that you have to group up for Skull. And that's what we do for the first 2 bosses. get a pull in. We're just trying to explain this because you got to know your rotation, then you have to know what each boss does because you have to group up for Skull.
On the tank back here for Doc, all Doc has to be aware of is on the ground, there's going to be little shadow circles. Don't stand in the circle.
Yeah, so the
boss.
square is Lady B. Lady B has void zones. Just don't stand in the void zones. So if you're back there in DPSing, say the first 2 bosses are down, and you're melee, if you're back on the square, just step out of void zones. You'll see them as little black portals that show up on the ground. So just move around, don't stand in the black. The biggest one is going to be Moon for melee. So Moon is Sir Zillick.
No
He's
melee.
the one who has the chain. So do not, as melee, go in on Moon. All right. A couple people AFK still.
One more question. This is just based off of what's on the video and the fact that Skull's a meteor. In the video, they show DPS groups basically, I guess, just sitting in the neutral zone, doing nothing until the second tank went in before going in. So is that what we're going to do?
What you want to do is, if you have DPM, you're going to see a timer for meteor. So if I'm here in the center and I need to go to the X, or the skull, right? That timer, you don't want to be running in if that meteor is going to hit in like 5 seconds. It takes you at least 10 seconds to run over there. So before you run in and switch, you want to look at where the meteor timer is. And if it's 10 seconds, fine. Then I can make it all the way in. Boom, meteor hits, everybody's happy. If I run out and a meteor's starting to hit, if I'm the tank, you might want to look at your meteor timer. And if it's going to hit in 2 seconds, wait, and then go. Otherwise, you run out, you're going to take a meteor yourself.
How often do the meteors hit?
I don't know, the timing is like 20 seconds, 30 seconds.
I thought it was like every 12.
That's the
The
marks.
marks are every 12.
Oh, okay. I thought that it did that every time it had a mark. All right.
No, it doesn't do that.
Sorry, I still don't understand that. Like Jesper was saying, like when like the tanks hang out in the middle for like a rotation of 3 marks.
The
DPS
safe
doesn't do
tanks.
that, right? Yeah, I know, but like DPS doesn't need to do the same thing, right? They just wait for a safe time to get out and then just go to the other boss.
Right, as long as they don't have the marks. Like, for example, if I'm DPSing over here at the skull, right? I get my 3 marks, hey, meter drops, I run over here, then I can just go straight over here and DPS.
Okay.
So
as long
once
as you
I
have
get my
marks.
3 marks there, then I'm going to switch over here. And I'm going to go, pew, get 3 marks over here, then I'm going to run back here, let a couple marks drop off, then I'm going to run over here.
Oh, I thought it's like similar to the tank rotation. You stand on the bottom side. That's not the case necessarily.
You can. You can. It just depends on, if you do that, then I DPS here, then I lose 3 marks of DPS, then I go with the tank, and I DPS here, then I lose 3 marks of damage, and then I go over here, so I lose 36 seconds of damage each time.
Yeah, we're only killing the bottom 2 bosses first. That's what we said. You start on the bottom 2 because they're the harder hitting one, and then we shift to the back. Nonetheless, we've got the basic outline for this. We really need to see it. So please make sure if you're AFK, come back from AFK, please. Everyone group up at the center. Let's rebuff and get a pull in.
Everybody group back up, let's get a pull in. Rebuff. Yep, 2 on each side.
I guess I knew no worries. Now that I think about it.
Rest of the buffs, please.
Naked. Not that kind of no.
Oh, are we doing a naked run?
Let's try a legit chance here. If you go naked, you're not going to see any rotation.
I feel like we spent a good time on it. We got this.
Killing these slack-jawed daffodils.
Appreciate your patience, guys. It's just, unfortunately, people pointing out, like, hey,
Stop.
watch the video. People don't watch the video.
Yeah, you know this.
So which DPS groups are on Skull first?
So we're gonna have 5 on the skull, 6 on the X. So 6 is gonna go to the right, 5 is gonna go to the left. Melee perspective, probably 3 go to the left, 4 go to the right. Go to the left, and Leaf go to the right. Left is to the left as we're staring at the room.
That would be skull.
Doesn't matter what the X mark, skull, whatever it is. To the left is going to be Thing.
Thane is Skull.
The skull will be in the bottom left, the X will be in the bottom right, the blue will be in the back left, the moon will be in the back right. Alright, everybody move around to the left, stay against the wall. Against the wall. Get in a straight line behind the yellow star. Healers, you can stay here. The other healers, you'll go all the way around.
Oh, the ones on the right side?
Someone started
Too
it.
late, we got a pull.
Let's go.
Tanks, get them to the corner.
Healers, get to your sides where you're supposed to go.
Stack up on the skull.
Oh,
Stay grouped up.
that was Mark 1.
Way faster than that.
Yeah.
My buddy's not here.
As
Mark 2. Stay here, even though the other guy's here. And that's
Yeah,
that's the thing.
So that's what happens when you don't line up or don't listen. Like, guys.
Well, at least I had the healers where we were supposed to be, at least at my group. But we didn't have...
The healers were the ones that pulled, so they were
wait, well...
I was on follow from Daytor, so.
same.
85% look good to me.
Progress.
So do the healers on the right side need to wait for the pull before they get in position? Or even attempt to?
Yeah.
Sustain line behind Joe to go and put
Yes.
over to the center. And then you put your
That's what I thought. When someone was like, healers need to stay behind.
Should 39 people just slash follow JTOR?
Yes, it would be safer.
Alright, I'll do that.
Yeah, and I mean, when you pull, it's like, what is it, 15 seconds or 13 seconds or whatever the timer is, you've got that long before the first part, so there's plenty of time for people to get to the spot they need to be.
Yeah, just the healers got to keep in mind your tank's going to be running that corner, so watch out for range.
I think Skull Healer can stay put.
Yeah, skull hitters can stay right in the corner. You don't have to go up to the thing, because the tank's going to be bringing the skull to you. So anybody that's going to be healing whoever's tanking the skull in the bottom left for thing, you don't have to move.
Does that mean group 5 will just stay there?
Yep. DPS, if you're DPS and thing, you don't have to move either. You can stay right there. The tank will bring it to you. Which, just remember, you gotta wait until you get him in the corner and get a couple hits, because he's probably only got one heroic strike on it and he's booking over to you. Or whatever he's using.
Yeah, so the strategy we're doing is we're going to the middle with JTOR. Let's stick to that strategy.
Correct it.
Zero. It's not happening.
I like how you answered for me and you're not even coming.
No, I don't want to do CG multiple times in a week. But if you turn it into a full run, no one's going to go.
Once again, everyone gets here, let's get a quick rebuff and get another look at this really quick before we call for the night. I'm definitely going to take a look at this friggin' add-on by next weekend. But by next weekend, please just double check the video.
Yeah, the video is very helpful. I watched it in like less than 5 minutes. I was not paid to say this.
It really is one of those things, like, just know what your role needs to do. Don't worry about all the tanks, all the healers if you're DPS. Don't worry about the healers if you're a tank. Just pay attention to what your rotations will be. Yeah, that's perfectly fine, Bushy. It might be something where we come in on Friday, and as we're clearing stuff, I might set up that add-on kind of thing.
Yeah, and Bushy found that once everyone's assigned to one, he can see it.
Yeah, this is wrong with that, then coming into the raid next time. But we'll have a pretty good idea looking at the roster, so we'll plan it out ahead of time as best we can, and then just slot everyone in, have it done by the time we get to Flipboard, so we won't have a big build-up. This is the first time we've been here. There's always going to be an explanation, long-winded, like trying to figure out how things go. But, you know, now we just need to get our reps in.
So for a quick clarification on tank timing, When the third stack, or whichever multiple lands, is that when the safe tanks should be starting to run in, or roughly?
Yes.
Yeah, third one hits, then they come in.
How long is it between marks?
12 seconds.
The reason I ask is since we have to get to the top right corner, we have to do that long run. I was just thinking about asking whoever's starting that one, do they need to start before the third mark goes out in order to get there in time?
Nope.
Okay.
Did I read something that said none of that starts until 20 seconds into the fight, or is that from the fight?
It's definitely delayed. I don't know what the delay is. It's not like you pull it immediately get a mark.
Get those buffs up, please.
The safe zone is beyond 60 yards, so I don't think you're going to be able to do much from the safe zone.
Double check buffs. I've got wisdom.
What's wrong with wisdom?
I don't have mana.
I accidentally gave Warrior Salve, so I just did Wisdom on you guys to clear it.
Okay. Alright. Let's get up and get another shot at this. Follow on J-Tor if you need to go in.
If you're healing or DPSing on the skull at the start, you don't need to go in. Everybody else, stay to the far left, stay against the wall.
Healers on the other tanks, just remember, friendly reminder, we're going to be running to get up to that corner, so be careful on range.
You can do that. If you're tanking one of those other three other than Thane, if you're healing other than Thane, then you'll want to follow me. If you're DPSing Thane, skull in the bottom left, you're going to stay here in this corner until the tank brings it to you, right where Leah is at.
And as you saw, the meteor comes out kind of quick, so be ready to group up.
We're going to do a quick ready check. Stay in a straight line. Alright, everybody's ready. I'm going to go up to the skull. This should not aggro as long as everybody stays in a straight line. Otherwise, tanks, just be ready. Wouldn't hurt to pre-target your target from here if you can. Alright, going in. So you stay in a straight line, we get up to the skull, and everything's good. Push you get to the left. Alright, then from here we would do a deviant.
5.
Tanks, get ready to grab your targets.
2. 1.
Grab your targets, tanks. Healers, get to your spot. DPS, get to your side. Let him get him here. Wait until he gets him turned around before you start DPSing.
Bell's dead.
Get one mark out.
1, 2.
Let the meteor hit.
Mark 3.
Switch. Let the tank stay in there until you get relieved. As soon as the other person gets aggro, then you can run to the safe zone.
Margarine's going crazy.
Green's crazy.
Who's next?
Yeah, that's death. be another mark before the tanks. Ooh, whoa. Watch out for Shadow.
Flame used everywhere.
Yeah, she squished Cassie.
Yeah, we need fire resist for this.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Doctor did get a fourth mark too, I think. Cassie was just a little late when I was switching.
Oh, I had to voice him. What the hell?
Yeah, because the other tanks are dead.
Oh, I was like,
oh. Yeah, that would do it.
98%, guys. Woo! Progress.
That's better than our first pull.
We have to rotate this time.
Once you get the hang of it, it's pretty straightforward. It's not crazy hard. Just getting the mechanics of it down takes a couple times.
Right, again, just pay attention to what your role needs to be doing during the fight. Watch the video. Just pay attention to what you need to be doing.
I do want to point out that I've got my 4-piece bonus and my very first taunt was resisted.
You need to get that real trinket quick.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to bring that next time.
Put on your spell hit.
Well, there's other taunts too, right?
Yeah, there is. You can use mocking blow.
They're only temporary.
Got resisted. My taunt got resisted, and I never got to.
So all the other taunts are only temporary. They lose threat unless you overtake the main tank after they run out, though.
Oh, you don't trade threat with like challenging shout and mocking blow?
They're only temporary as far as I remember.
Mocking blow forces him to attack you. It doesn't give you top threat.
Challenging shout does, though.
Yes.
I remember using those all the time in BWL, and I don't remember them going back to whoever they're supposed to be. Or maybe that's why they did. I don't know.
The mocking blow will just buy you a little bit of time, just for a taunt to come back off cooldown.
Maybe that was it.
Or it's enough to get
But for this fight,
wing buffet.
you don't want to be in battle stance. That extra 10% damage is a lot.
Yeah, but I mean, missing a taunt sucks, so.
That's end of raid. Go ahead and throw ports up. Thanks everyone for sticking it out. Again, just double check that video by next week. Let's come in next Friday, burn through stuff as quick as possible again, and we'll come back here and have plenty of time for Four Horsemen.